Hey guys, we are live. I hope. Hoping you guys can see me here. I'm gonna try to pull it up a little bigger where I can see me. Yeah, that's too big. All right, that'll be all right. We'll back her down. All righty, y'all. Can you hear me? JKNGA, the Toward Zone. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, this is my first go round. This is an old computer that was given to me a long time ago, and so I'm still trying to figure this thing out. I've done everything from day one of the channel starting by my phone, and so it's quite a bit different doing it through a computer. All right, I'm going to see if I can. My picture on here is so small, but if I enlarge it, then it knocks out the chat. All right, let me see. Maybe I got something here set wrong. Just bear with me for a minute. I'm working on it. Just want to get it to where I can see me. My eyes are not good. Maybe that's it. No, that ain't it. That is not it. All right, that's okay. All right, who do we see what we got here? I'm gonna try to get this to where I can see what's going on with everyone. Now I'm full screen, and there's no way to add the comments to it, I don't think. Let's see if I can. That's gonna change anything? No. All right, that'll be okay. All right, guys. Hey, Butch and Ruth, Chris Jarvis, Brett Flat. Hi, guys. So good to see you. I know there's been a delay. We finally got the internet up and going, and it's different not using my phone. This is my first shot at doing this on a computer. It's a laptop, but I'm behind. I'm behind on tech. Today, I got in a drone. I finally found means and a way to get a drone. It was through a program that they had through a firm to where I'll make monthly payments on it. But it arrived today, and I got a DJI Mavic Mini 2 is the name of it. And it's got 3 batteries, 30-minute flight time, and a range of a little over 6 miles. And we're going to take it in some of these areas, and I'm going to put it overhead and see what we can find. I wanted to update you guys on some stuff. Today, we had to take a new baby in to the vet. I know a lot of you people probably didn't get the notifications. Littlefoot is a baby that we had rescued recently. We got his mother, and there were 3 babies. The man contacted us, and his goats are dying off, and wanted us to come and take his goats off his hands, and because he's losing them. Beelin. Hi guys. Oh, I can't pronounce that. From Indiana. And it's so good to see you. Hey, Pappy. Brother Pappy. But long story short, the man wants to charge us to come and rescue his goats. And I believe he's got 4 left. now. He's lost a lot of stock. Something he's doing wrong. We got the mother here right now. We had to pay for quite a bit of money, more than what you'd pay for a common briar goat, but they were in really bad shape. So we went ahead and got her. She had 3 babies, and he brought them over hours after they were born. 2 of the babies died. The babies were born Friday. He brought them over here Friday morning, or Saturday afternoon. 2 of the babies died. Littlefoot is the remaining one. He's having problems walking. His legs are real wobbly. And we took him in today. We're taking his mother in the vet tomorrow. And he was diagnosed basically as being premature. His fecal sample came back good, negative. No parasites, no problems there. He's underweight, he's underdeveloped, and he's got lacystic joints, I think is what she called it, where his legs are kind of floppy. Hey, Sharon and Chris. But anyhow, he's going to do good. Kim is sleeping in the living room by the kennel because she has to get up every couple hours and feed him. As long as we keep food in him and we exercise him daily, he's going to be fine. He's going to be on top of the world. And my hunting partner, Chris, he's like a brother to me. I love him to death. And he checks on me when I'm out there. And so I don't have to worry about my legs giving out on me and being stranded in the middle of nowhere. He's been real good to me. Hey, Sharon. Well, he is going to take baby Littlefoot. And that's going to be on the 25th of this coming month. So it's going to be a good thing. Hey, Brett. No, it's not the Green Swamp. I've heard of the Green Swamp. I'm not familiar with where it's at. The areas I'm trying to get permission to go to is in Mariana, and it's actually the property I had my bad encounter. I'm working on that now. We finally located who owns it now. And it was sold to a development company. So we're trying to reach out to them. My sister is in real estate, and she was able to find that information for me. And we're going to try to get permission to go over there and do some filming. And I'm going to get my brother Chris to come with me, and Jeff. You guys know Jeff, because I'm not going in there alone. Hey, Dwayne. But we're working on that. That's hopefully the near future. I wanted to share something with you, something that happened to us last weekend. I've been hunting when I'm able to get out there, which is mainly on the weekends because of the vehicle situation. Rosie's in school, so I can't take the car during the week, and I'm not going to make them get up at 4 a.m. to take me to Chris's house to where I can ride with him to the hunting area. So I'm able to hunt Saturday and Sunday. I actually skipped church 2 weekends in a row to go hunting. But about a week ago, the last weekend of archery, a deer came out on me, and I was in my stand, and he came out about maybe 8 or 9 yards from the tree that I was sitting in. And he looked up at me, and I took the shot. I had the GoPro mounted on my crossbow, and it was a lethal shot. And the deer took off. Well, I waited a little while, and Chris come back there, and we went after the deer. And it was it was very easy to track it. There's something that you look for. You guys that hunt know what I'm referring to, but there's a trail that they leave behind when you shoot. And it was extremely obvious. It got dark on us and we couldn't find it. So we left. The following morning, me and Kim and Rosie went out, and we took Waddles, Rosie's dog, to find that deer. he'd still be good. He had my arrow all the way through him. It was sticking out about 6 inches on the underside. I shot him at a downward angle, and it was a vital shot. So we went to find him. Waddles trailed him to a spot Chris and I were 30 feet from. We couldn't get to it. It was so thick, and it got wet right there. And so the trail we were following that the deer was leaving wasn't obvious. Well, Waddles got on the scent trail. We put him on the beginning of it, and he led us straight back there. There's two large pine trees that had fell side by side, and there was just a monster pile of vines that were growing on them when they fell. Is the way it looks. They were underneath the two trees. So it looked like you couldn't see the ground right there up under the tree. It was all solid vines. The arrow was laid on top of the tree. Um, the tree was laid pointing due south. The top end of the tree was to the south, and the arrow was laid directly on top of it, like somebody pulled it out of the deer and laid it there. The scent trail stopped right there. It never left. There were no boot prints. Walking over the roots or the vines that were there, they were dead. And where I stepped on them, you could see my boot prints. It was really obvious. It just crunched down into those dead vines. But there were no tracks. And the dog could not find a scent. And so we done a perimeter where we start doing circles around the area where the arrow was. And we gradually get larger and larger. And we covered the entire area. There was nowhere else for him to go. His tracks ended right there. They didn't leave out of that. I don't know where he went, but whatever happened to him, he somehow removed the arrow from himself, and he laid it on top of a tree, of a fallen tree. Well, yesterday, we lost that deer last weekend. Yesterday, we went out hunting yesterday morning, and Chris, my hunting partner, he shot one. And I heard him shoot. I was only a couple hundred yards from him. And so I got out of the stand. We went over there, met up with him, and he run out toward the back swamp. He didn't make it to the swamp. He got down to the edge of it and stopped. He was gone. And he shot it with a muzzleloader, a 50 caliber bullet. And I know it doesn't say much, you guys not knowing Chris, but I know him well. And for him to shoot something and not recover it is bizarre. He is just an incredible shot. He doesn't shoot to hurt. Normally, whatever he shoots is within 30 feet of where he shot it. It's instant. He's very ethical in what he does. And we searched that out. We walked that area out for about 4 hours, and there was no sign of the deer. There was no more of the trail that he leaves from being shot. That was gone. There was no tracks. The deer was just gone. So it's just a lot of bizarreness. And that spot where he shot his is about 500 yards from where mine vanished. There's a small river that runs through there, and mine vanished about 100 yards before you get to the river, and his vanished about 175 yards before you hit the river. So they were almost parallel as far as on I guess it's longitudinal lines, the east to west line, but we never found it. Yeah, Butch, someone's definitely eating good, but it's just bizarre to know Chris. He can easily hit a deer just standing there, not using any type of gun rest or anything. free-handed at 200 yards. He's just a fabulous shot. He does not miss. He took the gun. He called me today. When we got back, we left. It was early afternoon when the front started hitting and the rain was started. Well, he took his muzzleloader out this morning and to see if the scope was off and maybe it was just a bad shot. But the signs the deer left behind, it was definitely a vital shot. There was no mistake in that. There was no reason for that deer to be gone like that. The one he shot was, he was a buck, he was a mature buck, and you just don't pick up a full-grown deer, especially a buck, and walk off with him without leaving tracks. So we don't know what happened with that either. That's another strange one. I don't know how to pull them up on here. I'm trying to see if there's a way to do it. There's some pictures that I got from the game camera. I would love to share with you guys. I'm just not sure how to post them up here where you can see them. I do not know how to do that. I tried to look it up before we came live, and I don't know what I'm doing on this thing. I'm trying to figure it out. But we're getting there. I'll get it figured out and we'll be pros at this before long. The videos will be changing slightly with the addition of the drone. We'll be able to add some overhead footage and let you guys see these areas from a bird's eye perspective instead of seeing them from ground level at my height. The area near Westville where I saw them two large dogs, the area is really large, and I want to go to the opposite side of that area from where I was. There was a lot of swamp in the area where I was at that day, and the opposite side is a little higher. It's a different area, a different environment, and I'm going to go and check that one out. But I will definitely be flying the drone out there before I go out into it. That area is a maze. There's no structures, there's no houses, there's nothing out there but wilderness and swamp and a couple of creeks, 2 or 3 creeks. And I don't know the area. I don't want to get out there and have something happen to me, or I've seen so many snakes. I don't want to end up getting snake bit. But I'm planning that sometime soon. There was something else I was wanting to share with you. Shaz, how are you doing? Shaz VD. And there's Nana Anna. But the pictures I was wanting to share with you guys from the game camera. My old camera, I took it up to our property. And it works. It takes fabulous pictures, but it's really hard on batteries. And so I quit using it, and it picks up everything. If the wind thinks about blowing, the camera picks it up and takes pictures of nothing, and there's no way to adjust it. It's an old one. But I set it up there, and we put minerals out and we put feed out for the deer. We don't hunt on that property, but we monitor the deer that come through there. We had one several years ago that had the chronic wasting disease, and we were trying to get him out of there so it wouldn't spread, and he just disappeared. We never seen him. And there was one that was attacking the does and the yearlings and the fawns, a very aggressive buck, a smaller one. We did successfully remove him. But I went to check the cameras. They've been out there about a week now. I went up and checked them a little over a week ago, and I put new batteries in it and cleaned the memory card out. Yes, Brett, I'm working on that. My hunting partner, he'll go with me when he can. it's really hard. I don't have that many people around here that I can honestly say that I trust. We've had a lot of problems with people taking things from us that were friends, and so I'm just kind of careful on that. But I am working that out. I got there's a couple people from the channel actually that live within 30 miles of me, and I'm going to be connecting with one of them, and we're going to go check out some areas. I messed up, and on my email, there's a sync. I had to do something with sync my email, and I would save the emails that you guys would send me, the encounters that were sent to me, even the one, there's a lot of them that I was not allowed to share with y'all, but I had them in my email. And then my friends here that just emailed to say hello, I save them in an archive. And I don't understand what all that stuff is, but I had hundreds in the archive. And to email, you guys that have emailed me that we've corresponded back and forth, I would go into the archive folder and I would find who I was looking for and I could respond to them. Well, when I hit the sync for the email client, I had to sync email client. I wiped out everything. I lost all my emails. And there's a lot of you that I do talk to regularly, and if you don't mind, just send me an email. Just if you want, just put your name in it, nothing else. I lost everybody's emails, and I need to just save them into my contact on my phone to where that don't happen again. But anyhow, getting off track. Trying to get back to where I was going with this. The property. All right, I went to check the camera, and I got a picture. It looks foggy. It's everything's hazy, as though we probably had a lot of fog out that day. And in the um, top left of the screen for the picture, there's this round thing, and it's glowing. It's putting off light. It's kind of dim, but it's putting off light, and it's kind of back on the picture. It looked to be about the size of probably a grapefruit. But then there's another picture a couple days later, and I'm thinking there was one or two deer were out there, and there's a light coming down on them. It's like a round light, and then this other light it's bizarre. It's like a UFO or something. I don't know what it is. And a friend of mine showed it too, and he said it's a camera. Well, I don't know how it's even there. There's no trees there. I cleared that area with a tractor. There's nothing even to put a camera on, except for the broken pine tree that I got the one camera mounted on. Oh, all right. I'm sorry. I got an email from my brother Sam. I need to fill you in about him too. But anyhow, a third photograph, there's a big ball of light, and it looks like it's furry. It's like a furry ball of light, and it's really close to the camera, and it appears to be probably about that big around, and it's up, I would say, a foot or 2 feet from the camera, which the camera is about 5 foot up, 4.5 to 5 foot off the ground. I don't know what it is. I have no explanation for it. And those are the pictures I was wanting to pull up and show you, but I do not know how to add them to StreamYard. That's what I'm on right now. Don, I'm not sure what it is. It's light. It's really, really bright light. A couple of them are balls, and one of them looks like it's coming out of a craft. It's a really defined light, and then it's like it's projecting a light, like it funnels out really wide. It's the strangest thing I've ever seen. And I got that one on there, and I don't know. I don't have an answer for it. I don't know what it is. But that property is where we've had, I saw that clear creature in the tree right there in front of me. We found the two deer heads that were out there that looked like they were torn off. It was buck heads with horns, and the two heads were back to back. And we brought them here, or I did. I brought them home, and I showed Kim. I put them on the side, and we started having paranormal activity inside our home. And somebody had mentioned, I think it was Pappy had mentioned that it may have came from the deer heads. And so I loaded them up and we took them and I put them back out in the woods. I don't want them things if that was causing the issue. And the problem did slow down when we got rid of them. But them pictures are insane. I may just post them just to do a post. Matter of fact, I may be able to do it from my phone. I think. I'm sorry, guys. I wanted y'all to see that. I'm going to post them up there here when I get finished where you guys can see the pictures. It is just bizarre. And where that light, the bright light is kind of angled. It's almost like something is coming in and it's got a light on the front of it at an angle. And it's projecting this really bright beam. Uh, I don't know. I don't know what it is. If it's a UFO, it's a little bitty one. Probably a couple of feet in diameter, but you can't see nothing. There's no overhead trees there. There is no electricity on the property. It's out in the middle of nowhere. We have 4 poles up for corner poles. There's no fence. It's all wooded on all 4 sides. And my northeast corner, there's a little 30 or 40 foot wide corner where the driveway comes in. That it's the road leading out of there is our driveway, and that's the only part that's not wooded. So I have no idea what it is, and I know it's not poachers because there's a deer in one of the pictures that the light is beaming. There's deer right there, and we don't have any pet deer and animals that spooky at night. But even the goats here, to go out at night with a flashlight, they act a little nervous. But it's like these deer were used to it or they didn't know it was there. I don't know. I don't have an explanation for it. But I'm going to post them up where you guys can see it. Yes. Hi, Stephanie, Annette, Juanita. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the notifications. YouTube has been really good about turning our notifications off. The channels I watch, I get no notifications at all except from one of them. And he puts out that's all he does is videos every day. And I get some of his, not all of them. I don't know what's going on with that. Oh, there's D. Let me see. It's good to see you, Stephanie. Annette. Let me see. Yeah, Sharon, it is. One of the channels I was listening to a show they had, and they were talking about that exact thing. Anybody that has any content that is related to any of these, what they're calling cryptids, they have issues with notifications. And gee, I wonder why. I don't know. I wanted to let you guys know Sam Farish, you remember his brother Mike was in the hospital, and we done a prayer reach out on the channel for him. And so many of you guys come together, and he got out of the hospital, but he ended up with the diagnosis was not good. He's back in the hospital now. He has he's got a tumor. He's got brain cancer, but it's spread into his bones. Mike's not doing well at all, and now he just tested positive just recently for COVID-19. It was the first day they were working on getting our internet putting together and getting it going. And then we had 2 days of updates for this computer, and I couldn't do anything on it as far as the live stream. But Mike Farish is not doing well. He's in the hospital. I did speak with Sam, and whatever the Lord chooses to do with Mike, Sam is okay with it. I'm not saying that he likes it, but he understands that God has a greater purpose for us than just to beat around the bush here on earth. So you guys, please pray for Mike and pray for his family and for his brother Sam. Sam's a wonderful man, and he's part of our family here on the channel. And I hate it that the good people are always getting struck down with stuff. I think it's the time that we're living in. We're near the end of times, revelations, in my beliefs, my opinion. And I think the good that aren't going to be able to withstand what the judgments and the things that are going to come against us, I believe that God's going to be removing them, taking them out so they don't have to suffer through those times. They can sit back and watch while the strong that are left are stuck fighting and, for survival and to spread his word. But it's just keep him in your prayers, please. And that's Mike Farish. Sam Farish is his brother. He's the one that reaches out to me, and great friend. Thank you, JK. And we got Michael Deere. You remember he went to the hospital and we asked for prayers from him. He's home. I haven't been able to put anything up because we can't do videos or anything on the channel unless I go to town. And we don't go to town often. But now I'm able to. Michael is home. He's doing fantastic. He's improving, and he's almost back on top of the game again. And he said that we can back off on the prayers, but just pray for everybody. We all need it. Every one of us do. And you don't have to know someone's name to pray for them. God knows your heart, and knows your intention, and he knows your thoughts before you think them. So they get delivered. Let's see. I've got something else I was wanting to share with you, and I meant to write everything down. I'm not prepared. I'm waiting on Carrie's going to be contacting me from Bigfoot Odyssey. He's was doing his documentary, and he already went over, and I think he filmed with, I don't remember if he went to South Florida to Mike and Melanie, or I think he went to Mark from Livewire, brother Mark. I think that's where he went first, but he got called back to work, so it'll be delayed a little bit, but that's good timing because hunting season is in right now in some of these places where we've had encounters, and I was wanting to take him. We can't go stomping through there if guys are out there deer hunting. Some of them, they don't respond very well to you walking in on their area filming when they're trying to hunt. And I'm hunting public land. And the area in Marianne, if I can get permission to go over there, that's what I'm working on, to get that lined up so when Carrie comes here. But if we can get permission to go, I'm going to be going before Carrie gets here to go and try to get some footage of that area and let you guys see. I've got a short video clip on my phone that's got a structure that I found in the area. I was talking to brother Jeff Townsend, and the deer that I had shot last week that walked off on me about 50 yards or 50 feet, I'm sorry, from where he disappeared, where my arrow was laying on top of the log, there's a structure. And there's a big pine tree. It's probably that big around. It's a huge one and 40 feet long, but it's rested on a clump of some type of swamp wet area tree. I don't know what it is, but it's got several limbs, probably that big, that they come up just different directions, like a spider upside down, where this big pine log is stretched across it all the way across to another tree. It's about 4 foot, 4.5 foot off the ground, and then it's got other uh, deadfall stacked up against it at one end. It's almost like a mix between a teepee and a hunting blind. It's just bizarre. And I was walking back there. This was after this happened with the deer. A few days later, we were back there, and I walked in the same trail that we followed to find the deer. And then instead of turning right and going about 50 foot where the arrow was, where the deer scent stopped, I turned to the left, and right there in front of me was this structure. And I took a short video of it. I've got it on my phone. I may just do it like a collection of these pictures and videos and put it in a small video and upload it just to share with you guys some of this craziness that we're getting. The game camera photos, I can't explain them. I don't know what to even tell you about that. I don't have a guess on it. I don't know about these balls of light. I've seen them in the swamp before years ago. These big, they're just a real faint colored ball of light, like a big bubble with a lit up interior, just kind of drifting through the swamp. I've seen those, but this isn't that. These are really bright. Uh, Don says he did a few single knocks the other day in a state park and got knocks back. One was very close, but I saw nothing. Maybe it was cloaking. I keep hearing about that cloaking. I know what it is, but I can't say that I've witnessed it yet. I don't know. Things are getting weird. I'm seeing a lot of weird stuff, hearing a lot of weird stuff. Uh, I got growled at sitting in my tree stand Saturday, but there was nothing there. There was no uh, uh, footfall. It was dry, very heavy dead leaves all over the ground, and it was so crunchy. Nothing ever left, and the growl was probably 15 seconds long, very deep, very guttural. And the side it was coming from was probably 40 yards from me where I was sitting in the tree, and there was no brush, there was no shrubs, there was nothing for anything to hide around but these little small pine trees. There's no limbs at the bottom. They're just tall sticks with a green top on them. I never seen it. I never seen anything, so I don't know what that was. Oh, oh, I wish I had wrote everything down. I run out of time today. But we've got another area. Oh, one of the other things. One of our neighbors, he lives about 20 miles north of us. He came into town, I think April, and he stopped by. He's an older gentleman, and he was telling me him and his pastor had an area very close to where my brother Chris lives, and they would hunt that area. And to walk into it, you park your vehicle, and there's a ditch right there. It's just a kind of a boggy little ditch, real narrow. And they parked, and they're walking in, and they found Sasquatch footprints, big ones. And they followed them until they turned and they went up into the planted pines. And when they followed them up there, they realized, these were real. They weren't imaginary, and they did measure them, but they left, and that was the end of their hunting. Well, he contacted me a week before Friday, I believe this past Friday. He's in Colorado. He's coming back, and him and the guy that was with him that witnessed the tracks, he's retired colonel from the Air Force. He's going to allow me to interview them, and just to where he can explain to you guys in person, tell you what he saw and what they witnessed over there, and the smells, the sounds, just the different things associated with these big things, these big fellas. And something I'm trying to put together, I haven't I haven't got it set in stone yet. But one of the things that's been bothering me with these other channels, they they're doing interviews and they're doing stories with people who have had a bad encounter, like mine or so many other people who have had these creatures come right up in that personal zone, close enough where you can't get away. But they're it's almost as though they're rejecting the people that have heard the screams, they've heard the growling, they've had all these other experiences, but they haven't seen the creature. And it bothers me. I've talked to a lot of people. There's so many people I speak to through email. They don't want their story put out. They just don't want their name out at all. And one of the common threads is there's nobody to talk to. They're in their home and somebody's tapping on the door. They're scratching the side of the house. And then at night, they're hearing them crazy howls and growling sounds. And one of them who just reached out to me, they go hunting, him and his wife, and they experience the same thing. But it's almost as though that type activity is discounted. It's not interesting enough for people, and if it changes anything about you, if you hear a scream out in the woods and it stays in your mind a month later, you still can't get it off. That's an encounter that's impacted your life. And these people need to get their story out. And I think I'm going to get a lot of these people on and let them come on and just explain what they've witnessed because they're dealing with it daily. And some of them are afraid to go outside because these screams are happening by their home. They haven't seen anything, they haven't witnessed a Sasquatch, a Bigfoot, whatever you call them. They haven't witnessed one, but they're hearing the screams. They're finding the structures. They're getting things thrown at their home, and they're affected. And I want to give them an outlet to let them share what they've experienced on here, and that may be coming up. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but there's whether you heard one or you had one knock you to the ground. If it's changed the way that you live, if it's drilled and scarred your mind, that the memory of it, that's an encounter. And don't let nobody tell you no different. You don't have to see one or get physical with one to have an encounter. If it changes your life, that's an encounter. Um, but I've got a few different people who that's what their encounters have been. Sounds. They haven't seen the creature, but they've heard them. Um, one of the things I was wanting to tell you, and it just came to me about, I guess, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I went to the property where we got all this crazy stuff happening. Behind us and to the west is a really large wooded tract. There's no homes or anything out there. There's no power poles. It's just woods. There's no fences. Some of the properties have a couple of trespassing signs put up on the road coming back into that area, but that's it. There's nothing else. And so the neighboring property south of me is large. Years ago, I hunted about 1.25 miles further south of the property we have now. Well, I went up there and I took my crossbow and I went all the way back to the property behind ours. And there was nowhere to set. Hurricane Michael wore that area out pretty hard, so all the trees are down. And I walked back. There was 2 or 3 large pine trees that fell on top of one another. One was flat on the ground, and so I set my little chair up against that one. And then there was another one that was a little over my head, the top of it, where it laid at an angle behind me. So I was in cover, and I had all the limbs in front of me. And there was such a heavy game trail, 25, 30 feet in front of that spot. Well, I had deer coming in. I got the GoPro mounted on top of the scope for the crossbow, and I heard the deer coming. I heard the twig snapping, so I started recording. As I'm listening to where he's moving, he's going around me really slow, and he'd stop for a while, and I'm hard focused on him. And finally, I hear a snap from behind me, the other side of these trees, and it's really thick, 50 foot behind them trees that I was sitting against. Is sand pines. They're smaller. They're about 30, some of them maybe 40 foot, but they're all standing, and it's real thick in there. Well, there's a snap that came from there, and then another one, and another one, something moving. But when I heard the first snap, it kind of woke me out of this trance. I was locked on this deer. I never seen him, but I could hear him. And deer make a very unique sound when they're walking through the brush. They're really quiet, but they do step on stuff, the deadfall. And I don't know how long I was locked on him, 15 or 20 minutes, but it got dark on me. And when the snap come from behind me, I kind of came out of it and I thought, oh my Lord, it's sand out there. There's no soil. So the ground is white, and it makes it appear that it's not dark yet. And I'm sitting on the ground. Well, then I've got snaps coming behind me, and the sun is down. It's back behind the trees. In 5 minutes, it's going to be pitch black. I didn't know where I was. And so I set the crossbow down. I'm getting in a panic now. I know what's at the property. I don't know which property all of that stuff comes from, but I know where the big guys come from. And I don't want to be in there. And now it's getting dark, and I've got to walk back to our property and then pass that area to get out. And Kim had the car. She dropped me off. So I'm up there by myself. So I set the crossbow in the ground, and I got that big tree, that log that's laid there beside me, and the crossbow's on the ground just about against it. And I got my bag. I'm putting my rangefinder in it, and all of my gear as quick as I can stuff it in that little shoulder bag. And I hear immediately I thought a woman was being beaten or attacked, something bad happening to a woman, that from behind me, where the cracks that woke me out of that buck fever I had. Well, the scream, it sounded like, in my mind, I pictured a very thin, very small, petite young woman screaming, a 25, 30-year-old woman screaming. And it kept carrying out. And then it started getting bassy. It started getting really deep. And for that second, I thought that's one of the dominant coyotes. Once these males, the head of the pack, reaches a certain age, the young ones challenge that alpha male, and if they whip him, he's out of the pack. So he's by himself, and he'll do that crazy call to bring in the girls that are in season to breed. And he's not in the pack; he's away from them. And that's what I thought it was. And the bassy rumble kept getting deeper and deeper, and it ended up being just an all-out growl. And there's no mistake. I know what it was 100%. I've heard that. It was the same growl that I heard in Mariana when I had my encounter. But it started out as a scream, and the pitch just changed into this demonic sounding rumble and roar, like a lion roar and a growl combined. But when it done that, north, probably 100 yards from where that sound was coming from, and that was probably 150 feet directly behind me. Then the coyotes north of that, about 100 yards, they started cutting up, 3 or 4 of them. And then north of that group, 100, 150 yards, was another pack of coyotes that did the same thing. And I was terrified. And I grabbed the crossbow, grabbed my stuff. My chair is still out there, my hunting chair. I left it. I wasn't taking the time to grab it. And I had my shooting stick that I extended up to because I shake real bad, and I prop my crossbow on it or my muzzle loader and to keep some of my shots steady. It's still out there. I left it. I left the chair, and I got out. But I finally found my way. I got turned around. I did not have my compass because I put everything from my normal bag into a small bag where I wouldn't have to carry so much because I carried my chair with me, and it's kind of heavy. And so I just kind of downsized, and I never took my compass off of my bigger bag. I didn't know where I was. There was no moon. It was pitch black. I couldn't see, and I've got something growling and hollering at me behind me, and it felt like he was following me. I finally made it to the property, and I'm coming up to the gate. There's no light out there. There's no electricity. We have a power pole, but the power's not turned on, and so it's black. I'm coming up to the gate, and the car's not there. And I called Kim and told her, you need to get down here. And but I walked out of the gate, and I just kept going down the road, and I'm carrying a loaded crossbow. I got all my stuff, and I kept going. I didn't care if people come by, if the law came by and caught me in the road with a cocked crossbow. I was so afraid that I would have suffered the consequence. So I gladly went to jail just to get out of the area. That's the first time I've been in the woods after dark by myself since my encounter. And I'll tell you, it was hard. I had a couple of nights right after the night I got home, and a couple nights after I had a few nightmares from it. But it's all good. I made it back. I've got to figure out. I need to find my chair. I got to go get that stuff back. It wasn't very cheap. I've got the video I took. I started filming with my phone in case one of them, the big fellas, did come up. I would have a camera on him, and I got the phone going because they claim that they are terrified of being filmed. They'd rather have a gun aimed at them than they would a camera. And so I turned my camera on and I filmed, and I was just talking the whole time. I get scared and I don't stop talking. But I've got that video. I did not post it. The scream, I wasn't filming with my phone when the scream started, but I was filming with the crossbow. But it's not that loud on the crossbow. You can hear it, but it's really faint. And I think it's because the GoPro that was mounted on it, I set it on the ground when I realized it was getting dark on me. I just set it right there on the dirt, and that big gigantic pine tree, it's probably 16 inches thick, was laid flat on the ground, so it's against the pine tree. When that, I think the sound couldn't hit it straight on, and I was hearing it straight on. It was hitting me full force, and I could feel the vibrations when it started rumbling. But I may end up putting that video up, putting it together, just where you can hear it. It's dark, you can't really see much, or I may just play the clip. There's a lot of rustling because I'm trying to get my stuff in my bag, and you can hear all of that, but you can hear that howl, scream, growl thing, and then you can hear the coyotes calling out behind it. And I left, but there's nothing to see as far as the viewing because it's nighttime. The crossbow's on the ground, and the GoPro does not have it doesn't have good night quality as far as filming unless you have a separate source of light for it. But I may end up putting that up. We've got a few things to get up. Something else I was wanting to share with you. I can beat myself for not writing this stuff down. We haven't had time. It's been so crazy around here. Oh, what else? We did have that noise, if you're hearing in the background, is Gracie. That's our deaf dog. She can't hear, but she's trained to hand language. But that's Gracie. If y'all hear her clopping around, I'm sorry about that. She sees me. She's got to come right away. Come here, girl. Get back up. What are you doing? You want to say, hey, this is Gracie. Don't touch it. Don't touch a computer, girl. I know. Okay. Here, you hop down. Okay. Here, hop down. Gracie's daddy is the one that headbutted me in my mouth. I think it was the end of last year, and he broke my jaw right there, and I lost the 2 teeth. And about a month ago, her mother hopped up. We got home, and she was happy to see me, and she hopped up to get loving as I was bending over to love on her, and she headbutted me and broke this one. I don't think it's my jaw this time. It doesn't hurt near as bad. It moves, but it wasn't intentional. They get excited. They were Gracie's mother and father were abused really bad. They came from the same home. We were going to find homes for them, but they're bonded, and everybody wanted the male because he's a white English bulldog, and that's what everybody was looking for. And we refused to separate them, so we decided to keep both of them. And the male got older, and he bred. Petey is his name. He bred Ladybug, and now we have Gracie, and she just I can't call her because she can't hear me. She's got her back to me, making sure she doesn't get into anything. Baby, can you come get Gracie, please? Yeah, she broke in. We have, I don't know if y'all can see behind me there. Look here. Look, turn around. There's Mommy right there. Turn around. Look. Come here, girl. Oh, who was that? Kim had to walk up on her and pat her on the rear end for her to know she was behind her. Yeah, this stuff behind me, if you can't see it, we have a vinyl thing. Let me see if I can get it a little brighter. I don't know if y'all can see that. Use my little light. That's a heat press. We got the vinyl cutter for doing shirts, t-shirts, and stuff. I just haven't had a whole lot of. Okay, babe. Thank you. I just haven't had a lot of time to do anything with it. I've been doing it from my phone, but you connect it to the internet through a computer, and you can do all kind of stuff on it. And I've got to learn how to do that. But the channel's coming first. We're gonna have. I don't know how to even explain it. We're gonna do a video down the swamp off the river. You guys seen the old video, the hike to Hog Mountain? There's an area up there. I've had a lot of stuff happen to me there. We've got the banging on the trees. You hear that a lot in there. And I've had stuff thrown at me. Nothing big, nothing like that other area I've been going to. Normally acorns, I get hit with a lot of them. But you get a lot of the whistling and these weird, like clicking sounds, like somebody clacking together rocks. But there's no rocks back there. It's swamp. There is dry land, but there's just no rocks. This is Florida. We're full of sand. But we're going to be going up there soon. I'm going to try to put the drone in the air over there. But some of them cypress trees are probably 80, maybe even 100 foot on some of them. And that drone is really small. And I would hate for it to fall or hit a tree and get stuck in the limbs, because I am not going 80 foot in the air to get the drone. I'll shoot the limb down that it's on, but I'm not going up there. But we are going to film there. It's just a matter of lining up the guy that I'll be going with. Oh, there's Mike. It's good to see you, Mike. Good night, buddy. I didn't see you in the chat earlier. There's Brother Mark, Live Wire. Y'all need to check him out if you haven't. Brother Mark with Live Wire. He's got some crazy stuff happening at his home. Same thing we've been dealing with. He just got I guess it's a different clan of them things, so they act differently in different areas. We've been pretty Pretty quiet here at the house, other than the rocks. We got rocks all over the roof now, roof of the house. But we got rocks in the yard too now, but they're chunks of concrete, and I don't know where they're coming from. There used to be a trailer house on the south of us long years ago, but it burned down. They had electrical fire, and they hauled out what was left of the trailer, and the people never done nothing else with the land. So the rocks may be coming from there, but a couple of times being in the back, we'll have little pieces of concrete to come. They'll hit on the ground all around you. Every now and then a little one. I've been hit with a little one several times, but some of these big ones would probably do some pretty serious damage. Hey, Kelly. But no, I haven't taken any of the rocks off the roof. I'm just going to leave them up there. I ain't going up there. It's too hard to get down when you're old and fat. And we're going to check the area here soon. I'm going to go over there to the next door property, and that's where the lens of our light is stuck in that tree. And I'm going to walk that out. I was going to do it earlier in the year, but we had helicopters flying over really low over that property, maybe 30 feet above the trees. And the goats went berserk. They were freaking out, running everywhere. The dogs were going crazy. But they were so close inside the house, it sounded like a drum beat. A boom, 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 boom from the props. And it was rattling the house, shaking the windows. And we ran out back thinking somebody was shooting, and it was helicopters. There's two of them. Oh, wow. I don't know if you guys see Pappy. His brother's got the big guys tapping on his cabin most nights in northern New York. Yeah, I don't know if I could handle them ones that these people are seeing in these northern states. They're recording 15 foot, or what they're claiming. A lot of these are 15 foot tall. I don't know if I could handle seeing something like that. Mark, you be safe, buddy. Especially if you got a long drive. Much is just my normal sinuses now, but the cold's finally gone. It was a sinus infection on top of a cold, and so it was whipping me. But it's finally gone. Central Florida Bigfoot. It's good to see you, buddy. I'm glad you guys are here. I got another encounter. I've just got to take the time to do it. One of the problems, you guys that are editing on your computer, maybe you can answer this for me. I use Power Director on my phone to edit the videos. I love it. It's an amazing app. I paid for it for the professional version. I'm not professional, but it gives me more options to make my videos look to where they're maybe 6th grade version instead of 4th grade. And I cannot find the app to put it on the computer. And I paid for it. I've got the year subscription, and I don't know if they even make it. This is a Windows 10 computer. It's a satellite. I can't read the name. It's a satellite computer. Thank you, Sharon. I've definitely missed all you guys. It's weird. You know, I was so accustomed to turning my phone on and being able to jump on the channel, answer the comments and the emails, and then it just stopped. The service stopped, the signal stopped, and then we went a week with nothing. And there are so many, oh my Lord, there's so many comments that are unanswered. There's thousands of them, and there's no way that I could catch up. I don't have the time in the day to dedicate to it. And my day starts here at 5. I get up between 4 and 4:30. And 6 o'clock, no, Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guys. Um, am I there? Is everything working? Uh, can y'all hear me? Let's make sure everything's working right. Yep, I'm here. I hope y'all can hear me. Yep, sorry, Nick and Ruth. Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened. I looked up and the whole screen was froze up. It said when I was going to connect in the beginning to do it through the computer, it said it's best to use a hard wire, to plug a wire into the whatever that computer thing is, modem. And I didn't do that. It's on the wireless stuff, the Wi-Fi. That's probably what has caused the issue. I do got the wire for that, so I'm not going to do it right now. But I apologize for that. I'm learning. This is my first time ever doing a computer, and especially going on YouTube. Hopefully, we'll get it worked out. Did you guys have anything that y'all wanted to jump in? Thank you, Stephanie. There's Sam. Brother Sam. I was telling everyone about Mike earlier. I didn't know if you were here for that. Yeah, Ruth, you're right. But computers don't do so very well when I'm at the operating end of them. I'm not very good with technology. Hopefully soon I'll figure this out. I'm going to go ahead sometime tomorrow. I'll get the wire out and I'll plug it in and try to play with it and see if it runs any faster. Thank you, Julie, because I want it working right when I start working with this drone and getting these videos. I'm going to take a couple of days to learn how to run it, how to fly it, and how to use the camera on it. It's got a really nice camera. It's a 4K camera. I don't remember the brand name. It's got some weird, I think it's German, the actual camera. Yeah. Pappy said he's still on Windows 7. Pappy, I ain't even figured out this one. This is my first one, and it's the 10. But I don't know. The phone's easier to work for me. I'm not educated in that department. We have. I'm having to rack my brain to remember. It's right on the edge of my tongue. Doggone it. I've got. I don't know the word I'm looking for. Gee whiz. I had one of them brain breakdowns. I've got a guy that's had a few encounters, and I'm going to have him come on a live show and let him tell the encounters himself, what he went through. He was going to write them and send them to me and let me narrate them, but I'd like for him to tell them. He doesn't mind, and you guys know who he is. He hasn't shared any encounters. He is part of our family here. So hopefully we can get together and make that happen sometime soon. I'm not going to tell you who he is, but as soon as it lines up, I believe you'll recognize who he is. We're just working on a time and date. He's really busy. He's got a very busy life, very busy family life, and it's hard for him to make time. But he's had a life full of encounters, and it's on the land that they live on, and they're having a lot of them. Nothing bad has happened to him other than being very scared. Having these things around you and not happy with you does do wonders to the mind. It can surely mess you up. Sharon, we have, it's not a post office box. We have a mailbox, but it's not at our home. They had widened the highway and they took the first, I forget how much of the property. They took a good bit from the road where the mailbox was, and everything got moved. We got a new mailbox out there, but more stuff gets stolen from it than what we receive. And so our mail goes down the road. I've got family down the road from here, not too far at all, and mail goes there, and we just check it every few days. And if okay, good night, babe. Okay, babe. If you'll email me, then I can give you the address there. I'm not going to put it on YouTube for obvious reasons. Um, I know I don't have any worries from our family here on Standing Goats Rescue, but we get a few outsiders that come through and they trash talk us, and sometimes they can be pretty aggressive with their assaults, trying to knock us down because of the things that we've witnessed. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that, Juanita. Let me back the comments up a little bit. I cannot see the screen. Let me see. Hopefully you guys, can you see Juanita's comment there? It's looking at my end of the screen. It's about that tiny what I'm seeing on here. But she says, do you ever find out what bit your goat's ears? I want to tell you guys about that. That's one of the things I want to tell you about. Everything's slipping my mind. Geez, I'm sorry. No, Nick, it's never the same after an aggressive encounter. Absolutely. You guys know that we have the turkeys, Thomas and Bach, and of course the goats. Well, I think it was this past week. It's been so busy. My dates are messed up. But Bach, the gobblers, the tom turkeys, they got that. It's like a comb. A chicken has that comb on his head. The turkeys, it hangs way down, and when they're strutting, it changes colors, and it'll really sag way down his chest. Well, something cut the bottom half of Bach's off. I mean, it's gone. He had blood all over him. It's missing. Well, then I think it was the following day, one of the goats has his ear gone. It's literally missing. It's cut off right there at his head. It's not gouged in. It's just like something just snatched it off or took a knife and shaved it off. And we've been treating him. I put it in a video. I showed the video of the little goat, and she's healing up fine. She's doing good. She can hear. There's no infection. Everything's straightened out. I'm getting these. I think it's emails that are coming in. I don't want to try to answer them while I'm on this stream, and I apologize. But yes, something. We've never had an animal harmed other than the chickens. Now, we've had over 80 chickens wiped out, and they would just disappear out of the pen. Something would unlock the door, go in and take chickens, and it's underpinned. It goes down into the ground so they can't get under it. There's no opening at all except the door, and you have to unlock it to open it. It doesn't have a padlock. It's got one of them little, I think it's a throw bolt, they call it. It's a little bar, and you lift it up and you slide it over, and it goes through a little loop on the other side, and it locks your door. That's what we have on the chicken coop. And there for a while, something was going in it and taking chickens. And we would find feathers. They would close it back. Sometimes they'd lock it, not often, but it would be closed back. There'd be feathers leading out, going over to the north side up to the fence. They were just gone. We have an idea who's taking them or was taking them, but they're not bothering the chickens no more. but we've never had any problems with the goats. Hey, Loretta, I just seen you pass by. So good to see you. So good to see all of you guys. And Denise, just want to say hello from Ardmore, Pennsylvania, located outside of Philadelphia in the suburbs of Philadelphia. I want to say I really like your YouTube site, and God bless, and thank you for the info you provide. Denise, thank you greatly. We welcome you here. We have a wonderful family here. This YouTube channel is amazing. Just the people that are on it are unbelievable. We've been blessed beyond tenfold. And my family is here. Everybody you see in that chat, you guys are family to us. We love y'all. We're just so grateful that y'all are part of it, are part of us. I've had a few people email me, and I'm just putting it out there for you. A lot of you guys have contributed to help us toward what we do with the goats, but they're emailing asking me about our PayPal and those links. I believe I put it in the description for this channel. If you're interested, you're not pushed to do it. The only thing that I would like to ask, if you guys are interested in contributing anything, please do not contribute to the Sasquatch side of the channel. I don't believe that's what Holy Spirit is leading me to do. But these goats, I know without a doubt, that's what we're supposed to do. And if you'd like to help out with the goats, then please, by all means, we're so grateful for every bit that we get. These vet bills get high really, really quick. And we've had one just last week with baby Wiggles, and then we took Littlefoot in today, and we're taking his mama in tomorrow. And as soon as we can afford to get the other goats he has, they're going to have to go in. They're all in bad shape. But every little bit, we have so many people that help us, and it's such a blessing. Good night, Crystal. I see someone telling you good night. Good night, Ruth. Y'all have a good evening. Hope I just seen Pappy on there. I missed you, Pappy. Oh, thank you, Pappy. Thank you, sir. God bless you, my brother. But yeah, you guys, I've had a few have asked me about us monetizing the channel, and that's something I'm not going to be doing. I don't like watching videos with lots of commercials in them. I will watch them. I'll listen to them and let them play out. Some videos are excessive. You get a 20-minute video, and you've only got 9 or 10 minutes of video. The rest is commercials, and I can't watch that. It gets just it gets crazy. I'm not going to monetize our channel. This is our connection to our extended family, which is you guys. And I don't want commercials in that. It kind of takes the fun out of going out and experiencing some of these things we do experience. And when I do catch it on video, I'm so anxious to get it up to show you guys and let you decide what you think you hear or see. And I won't never flat out tell you that you're looking at a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch. I'll just, if I do see something, I will point it out that there's something there. I've seen it. Whatever it is, your guess is as good as mine. We don't know what these things truly are, but they do exist. They are real. But yeah, we'll never monetize unless something happens that I am forced to do it. I don't have a choice. And that may be coming up. I just got an email from YouTube stating that you don't have to be monetized for YouTube to start putting commercials in your videos. And I hope that doesn't happen to us, but there is a chance. Hey, Riker. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Yeah, they will. Riker, you're right. They'll demonetize you really fast if you do something they don't agree with. And with the way the world's going, Paul, thank you so much, buddy. There's too much hatred in this world. And you could say something that someone else doesn't agree with, And instead of turning their back or going to another channel or just commenting to tell you, hey, I don't agree with you, I think you're wrong, that dialogue, you can get a lot accomplished uh, through dialogue, even if it's you don't like what somebody's doing. If someone doesn't like what I'm doing, then email me, comment, just leave the foul language out. There's no sense in being rude to anybody. Just state what your disagreement is. And it could be something as simple as I'm wrong. And if I am wrong, point it out. Uh, I'm all for that. You don't learn if you don't make mistakes, and I make more than probably every one of you guys, probably half of you combined. I make more. I do a lot of errors. Gene Fox, Green Mountain Droning. I don't know if you had heard. Yeah, thank you much. We got some stories coming. I got one. I've got to put it together. But I received my drone today, a DJI Mavic Mini 2, and I got the Flymore combo, and we're going to be using it for videos. Yeah, Mike, this world is slap full of haters. Absolutely. Yeah, Nick, people nowadays they'd rather do everything they can to shut you down rather than bring up a disagreement and work it out. That constructive criticism goes a long way, and you can get a lot worked out. It seems like it's going back to the caveman days. They didn't discuss it. If one caveman wanted your chicken, he was taking his club and wearing you out and taking it, and that was the end of the conversation. They didn't. There wasn't no negotiation, and that's what it kind of seems we're going back to, these Neanderthal ways. There's no room for it. We don't want it here on the channel. Oh, thank you, Gene. I read a lot of reviews on that drone, and I think that's the one that I'll be really happy with. We're just wanting to improve the videos. I've got a lot of plans to go places, and as you guys know, transportation is a big issue for us right now. The car's running. It's still running. The truck is dead. The motorbike is still at the mechanic shop. He was supposed to have been finished with it yesterday. He said he's going to try to have it finished by the weekend, and I haven't heard from him. I think all he's got left to do is to put the tires on it and an oil change. That's all that was left, and so I'll have the bike soon. And as soon as I get the bike, oh, boots on the ground. Hey, buddy, I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here. Denise, my buddy. Uh, but yeah, as soon as I get the bike, we're going to be going to some of these areas, and I'm going to go to some of these other areas. There's one that I heard about some things happening, footsteps, the footprints that they found, the beating on the trees, and all the structures, the teepee things, and all them, the craziness with the trees are stacked up with the roots at the top. But the man who had witnessed this stuff, several of them were together when it happened, but I talked to him directly, and he's going to be taking me up to that property, and it's between here and where I hunt and where I do a lot of my filming. So it would be half the fuel costs to get there and get back. It'd be a lot closer. And he believes that area is public land, and if it is, I don't need permission to carry a firearm on it. If it's public, as long as I got to carry concealed, I'll be good to go. And we'll be able to get in there, 3 or 4 of us together with cameras, and go in there and not break any laws or not bother anybody. It's a wooded area. It's heavily wooded. I have an idea where it is within a mile. I know where the section of forest is that this area is in. I just don't know. It's by a guardrail. It's where the property starts, and there's 4 guardrails on that in that stretch of road, and they're all within about a 1.5 mile stretch. And so it's somewhere between the first and fourth guardrail. But that's coming soon. The man who has that or witnessed all of that and had those things happen, he is in Colorado. He's on his way back. It's a holiday vacation for Thanksgiving, and they're coming back and they're doing Christmas here at his home. And he'll be getting up with me, and I'm going to be interviewing him. And I believe it's a colonel for the Air Force who was with him and witnessed some of this stuff. And the colonel guy was a skeptic, didn't believe in none of it. And he got to witness a lot of the stuff firsthand. And so I'll have both of them to interview and let them come on and tell their story. Hopefully I have this computer thing going right. I'm going to use that cord. I'm going to plug it in. And I don't know where to plug it into the modem box. It's got all kind of plugs on it, but we'll get it figured out. So when that time comes, the computer will be running smoothly. There won't be no freezes or anything going wrong with it. And I can figure out how to make my picture bigger than what it is. It's only an inch long, literally. And I can't hardly see myself in it. And there's no way to really change it. We've got I do have some encounters that I've got to put together, and I'll have them narrated, edited, and put up soon. I'm trying to work on them. It's been so busy. We've had a run-in, been working with this guy that has these goats we're trying to rescue, and we got to pay for them. But the animals need to be somewhere that they're going to be cared for. They're in rough shape, and he has lost probably 65% of his animals. His goats have died, and there's no reason for it. And so we're trying to get the last of them. The mother goat, we had to come up with $150 for. And you can buy that same type of goat, which is called a briar goat, which is like a mixed breed. You can buy one of those for anywhere from $60 to $100 at the auction. And we had to pay $150 for him. And he's wanting the same for the other goats, which are all mixed breed goats, but they need help. They need someone to love them and take care of them. They all need to be seen by the vet. It's a lot of cost, but we got some help from a couple of our YouTube family. They pulled through today, and so we got enough to pick up another goat. And it's from contributions from a couple of guys on our channel. They contributed through our PayPal link for us to pick up another goat, and so we're going to do that tomorrow. And we're taking the mama goat that we have now to the vet tomorrow. But it's all coming together. We've been so busy. I haven't had the time to literally put these encounters together and narrate them and get them up for you. But I'll have them done soon. I promise you. I gotta find a way to put some of these things that are happening around here on the back burner long enough for me to do these encounters. It does take a little bit of time to go to a decent area to where I can record and not have the traffic in the background or the dogs barking or the craziness that happens here, just part of daily life. I got to be able to get away, and I can't do it when Rosie has to be in school in the morning and back home in the evening. On one car, it's hard. It's really hard, but that's coming. And I got some more encounters that are coming. They're going to be sent to me through the email. They're on the way, and I'm hoping I can get some of these people to come on. I'd like for them to tell their story to you themselves. Tell it live and let you hear it straight from the bird's mouth. I think there's just so much more to it when the person who experienced it gets to tell you firsthand, because you're not hearing it as it gets passed down the line. You're hearing it straight from the source, and that's what I'm wanting to do. Hopefully it'll work out. I think we'll get two of them are going to be coming on. They said that they would come on and tell their story, and I think one of them you guys know quite well, and I think he's gonna come on and let you guys know who he is. I doubt you'll recognize him by his picture, by seeing him on video, but his name will pick him out. You'll know him right away. But it's up to him. People that come on, I give them the option to be anonymous, or they can give their name. It's totally up to them. Um, I always recommend people don't use their real name, but it's up to them. I did because I felt that if I didn't use my real name to put my encounter out, that I was starting off with a lie by not using my name. And it just kind of defeats the purpose of telling your story and to getting that mess off of you so that you can continue life and get back what was taken from you. And if you start that phase with that first lie of not telling your real name, then it kind of turns the rest of it into a lie. That's just my way of thinking for me personally. But I do recommend that others don't use their real name. I know it sounds odd. I'm no better than nobody. Um, I guarantee you guys are all uh, you're in a far better position in life than what I am. I've done a lot of bad things in my life and got saved in 2012 and I never looked back. Gave my life to Christ, and forward we march. And I don't have to look back on them bad things. I've been forgiven and cleansed for them. And so now I just got to look forward to these crazy things and getting out and showing you guys some of these structures and these pictures. I'm going to try to get these pictures. I'm going to post some tonight. I know a lot of you have already went to bed because it is late. I'm going to post some pictures. I'm going to put one up. One of them that I showed a friend, two friends, these pictures. One of them said that light looks like a camera, a game camera. There's one camera up there, but where this other light is coming from, there's nowhere to put a camera. There's no trees. It's just open. It's just an open field, and this light is right there. It's so bizarre, but it's in three different photographs. One is to the left side of the screen. The camera's sitting in the same position. The next one is it's on the right side, and it's like shining down. There's a deer down there, and it's like shining at the deer like a game camera would catch motion and snap a picture. But there's no game camera. The game camera is the one taking the picture, showing that light, and then the last one, that ball that was like shining a light at the deer, is right up on the game cameras, right in front of it, and it looks like a ball of hair that's made out of light. It's bizarre. But I'm gonna, here in just a minute, I'm gonna post them. I'm just gonna do a short post just to show you guys the pictures. If it'll allow me to post it, I don't know if I may have to crop it or cut it down, but I want you guys to see it. I don't know how to pull it up on here. I'm new at this and I have no idea. It may be easier. I don't see even a link on there, a way to do it. But it may be easier to do it through the YouTube the live stream. Let me see what this is. Maybe that, nope. Yeah, I don't know how to do it. It's got share screen. I don't know what that does. I don't want to mess it up though if I hit that. Do you guys have any idea how to share pictures on StreamYard? I don't know if you guys can hear me. Do any of you know how to share, how I can put pictures up on the StreamYard broadcasting to where I can share them here with you? I don't know how to do it. Yeah, I don't either, Barb. I have no idea. There's not an option on here anywhere. The only thing I see that I don't quite understand. See, you have to open a new tab with Chrome. Will that, Nick, if I open a new tab, will that knock the stream out? I've got it. I can open a new tab, but I don't want to kill the stream. Oh, let's see. I gotta. Yeah, that's no problem, Nick. I have to figure that out. I'll yeah. Uh, Pablo, no donation should have available memory. Okay. Okay, Sharon. That sounds good. They got a. I've got the new tab, but I don't want to click on that and mess myself up on here. YouTube share. There should be a plus sign at the top for a new tab. Now I'm on. Let me slide this up. Stephanie, I'm on StreamYard. I'm not on YouTube Live. Would that matter? Let's see. Let me see what that does. Now, don't go away if I get knocked off. I'll come right back. I'm going to see. Open a new tab. Okay, there's a new tab right there. And where is... I'm looking. Yeah, I'm not... Yes, Stephanie. I'm in Chrome. The nose is starting to run. The new tab is... I didn't see where it said the YouTube thing. Okay, new tab. It says Chrome, new tab. Let's see. Okay, now need the... Where is the... Oh, I know I've seen it. Hold on. There's the... It's YouTube 101 or something. Oh, that ain't what I want. I don't think. This may be it if y'all can still hear me. Let's see. New tab. Nope, that ain't what I want. I'm looking. Subscription library. Gaming, live, fashion, settings. Yeah, let's see, what is that live? Nope, I don't need that. I'm gonna end up knocking myself out of here in just a minute. YouTube apps. There's the create. I'm looking, guys. I'm sorry. I can't find it. Hey, Michael. Oh, good deal. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to share pictures on here. Let's see. I wish there was a way to. What is that? That's the banners. We don't need that. Yeah, I wanted to show you guys these pictures are bizarre. They got to make this easier. People like me. Oh, my nose. What is that? Settings? Nope. There's banners. Will it? I guess it'll let me. I'm looking to see if I can. Nope. Well, I've got to get this computer stuff figured out. These pictures, there's several of them that's got weird stuff in them. And one of the pictures, I got to find it. It was from last year from the same property. And it looks like it was taken during the daytime, two different cameras. Or no, it was 2 years ago. It was two different cameras about 150 yards from one another. And during the daytime, it looks like an angel, a person with wings, expanded wings, and they're just brilliantly colored. They're every color of the rainbow, but it's not a real defined line. But both of the two cameras had caught it. And this year I caught the edge of that color, but that camera, I've got the cameras that Brother Mark gave me here. They're here at the house. We use them here to keep the big guys away. And the only camera that I have left is that old one. And I've had it for a long time. It still works, but the camera may be faulting, causing those brilliant colors to show up sometimes. Thank you, Sharon. But I don't know what these light balls are. I wonder if it's gonna let's see. That's a YouTube live. We don't need YouTube live. We need to share some home subscription. Let me go try this. Maybe this should do it. Let me go here. Studio settings. I cannot figure out. Yeah, I may have to do that later. I'll just post them up. But we have if all goes well, we'll be doing Mariana soon. I'm just hoping it'll line up right that I get permission to go on that property about the time that we get another vehicle or I get the motorbike back home. I prefer to have another vehicle because I'm not going over there by myself, not to that property. But I have there's several other properties I'm working on getting permission to go into. One guy, I spoke to him already and explained to him what I was doing, just walking around filming and just looking, not hunting. I told him I had no desire to hunt. He doesn't want anybody hunting on it. And he didn't have a problem until I told him I will be armed. I'm not going into the woods unarmed. And he's afraid I'm going to be shooting deer. And I would never do that. But it's just a fear he's had. He's had some bad issues in the past from people poaching and breaking their word with him and doing those type things, if I understand it. But hopefully um, soon he'll agree and let me come on there and film and hike that area out. But I got several different areas. It's just a matter of getting to them, and that's where the problem is. Transportation is rough right now, but everything will be worked out soon. I need to get some of these goats to get a job and start paying rent, helping us out when we get a vehicle. Um, but it's everything else is falling in place. We got the drone. We got the internet finally. I just got to figure this computer out. We have some more encounters coming. I got some that are supposed to be emailed to me any day now, which they may be in the inbox now. I haven't checked it since early today. We've been busy with the babies and the little goat, the two babies. Baby Wiggles is doing wonderful. She's doing fabulous, actually. Um, yeah, Riker, I tried that Scott Carpenter. I get a lot of comments, and everybody's wanting me to. They're referring me to go check out Scott Carpenter and Steve Hisdahl, and I like both of them. I do. I don't agree with Scott on his beliefs, but I definitely respect him. And I actually I've tried to reach out to Scott Carpenter several times, and I want to get Scott to come on. Okay, Stephanie, then you go to screen share. I see the screen share thing. I'll try that in just a second. Thank you. Thank you so much. But I was wanting to get Scott to come on, and I want him to discuss his beliefs in the Sasquatch, the Bigfoot things, and because I don't see it the way that he does. But everybody's entitled to their own beliefs because none of us truly know what is happening with these things. Excuse me. Negra. Hi, Don. Hope you're all okay. Yes, absolutely. We are. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing fine. Yeah, Mike, he does think they're Nephilim. I don't, but I don't know. I could be wrong. There's something else to these things. I hear stories of how they can be, and like Scott was speaking about, they follow you home. They can be in your car with you, and they cloak and they're invisible. And I have a hard time digesting that. The creature I ran into face to face was less than 3 feet from me, and I don't know how he would even fit in my car. And I'm not joking. I'm not saying this being silly, but if he were invisible and cloaked and in my back seat, I promise you, I would absolutely know. The shocks would be dragging. But I just I don't get that. I don't agree with it. But I want to get Scott to come on, not to knock him. I don't want to bring him on and try to dispute him and make him look bad. Not at all. I want to get Scott to come on, and I want him to share his views on all of it. Sasquatch, Bigfoot, and everything in between. I want him to discuss his opinions and his beliefs. Just let him have the show and run with it. And I'm not going to knock him at all. I'd never do that to anyone. But I'm fascinated, and there's so many people that uh, they take everybody's that they got someone that they like over everyone else, and they take the word of that person in regards to Sasquatch, Bigfoot. They take that person's words and views on it over everyone else. They take it as fact, and we really don't know what the truth is on them. Um, I'm sure somebody does, maybe the governments, I don't know, but we don't know what they are. There's some DNA evidence that says they're part human, part something else. Um, so I don't know. A lot of it does line up with the Bible, but there's so much that doesn't. And there's one guy that I'm not going to mention what his profession was before he got into this Bigfoot thing, because you know who he is, and I'm not going to do that. But I disagree with him, this other guy, highly, and he says that the Sasquatch, they can go into the fibers of a tree. They just kind of blip in and out, and they're like Marvel X beings or something. I don't know, but I've talked to too many people, 3 people who have killed these creatures with a common piece of lead, a bullet from a rifle, and something that has the ability to walk through walls, to step through dimensions, and do all of these other just supernatural things. Why does a lead bullet stop them? And 2 of these men who have shot him, I have no doubt what they're saying is truth. I have no doubt whatsoever. Uh, the third one, uh, I'm not so sure, but 2 of them, and my brother Greg, I've had him on the show. I love Greg. He and his wife, they're wonderful people. But if Greg tells you that uh, anything at all, uh, no matter how crazy it sounds, if Greg says it, you can count it as being fact. It happened. He's that type of person. And just there's too many, and there's other channels that have told stories of people who have shot these things, who have done just insane damage to them with modern rifles, high power rifles. There's other stories of people killing them, and I believe it. If they're supernatural and they got the ability to step through walls and to just be invisible in your home and touch you, and you can't feel them because they're like air, then why does a materialistic item, a bullet, stop them? And it doesn't add up to me. None of it does. But I don't know that we'll ever understand any of it. We live in a bizarre time. Um, yeah, Mike, I'm right there with you. Mike Singletary, if you guys can see what he's saying there, he believes they're flesh and blood. Me too, buddy. There's too many people out there that have shot them and have bloodied them up, or have killed them. And one of the things you hear a lot, why didn't you uh, drag him out, or why didn't you get proof? You got to think about that. Something that's scary. I've seen him up close, and if I shot him and knew he was the last one on this planet and I dropped him dead, I am not sticking around. I'll never go back. And where I had my encounter, I have no desire to go back up until recently. And I'm wanting to go, but not by myself. Uh, uh, Hold on a minute. What did I do? I got ahead of myself here. Let me get Pappy's up there right quick. There may be some other beings that are posing as big guys, but are something else altogether. Think of the demonic types. That's absolutely. I mean, there's that, I do believe. What Pappy's saying right there, uh, I see that happening just without a doubt. And I think that's the reality of where we're at. Near the end, end days, there's supposed to be tears in the veil between our world and the spirit realm, where these things can come through, and I believe that's where we're at. Uh, Let me see. Oh, a negra. There's a beautiful, huge woman's face covering her head with a veil behind you. Are you talking to me, a negra? There ain't nobody behind me, I promise you. There's a wall just 2 feet behind me. There's no way to get behind me unless I move my chair. Yeah, Michael, you're right, buddy. A negra. Yeah, Butch sees it as well. Are you talking about behind me? Back here? Pablo. Let me put this up. Pablo saying, how many years do you think is left? Um, Pablo, I don't think we have a lot. It's not the end of the earth when this time comes. Uh, oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I messed you up there. Um, yeah, it's not going to be the end of the earth. It's going to be the end of an era. But from the time I was a young child, I knew that um, I would be here to witness a coming of age, so to speak, when um, who we know as Christ was to return. And I've always felt that I would never die. I would transition to the other life, but even now I'm 51, and I still do not believe I'm going to die. With the things that are wrong with me, I should have been dead a long time ago, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm not saying I'm going to live forever. Please don't misunderstand me. Not by any means, but by uh, will be pulled over. Like my age group, those 10, 15 years older than me, just that I think we're in a slot, and everybody within this slot, I would say everybody from probably 80 and under is gonna, unless you go out and do something silly and kill yourself. But I think we're all gonna end up witnessing just a really wild transition from this life to the next, to that spirit realm. There's so much to it. Uh, no, I missed it. But there there's so much of the weird stuff. Yeah, I believe that we're going to witness the when God comes back to reclaim the land. All of this is given to Satan for a short time, and I think his time is running out. On the green sheet, oh, you see it. Oh, I can't turn that far. Yeah, there's no picture on the sheet behind me. It's just a plain green sheet. They have in um, StreamYard. They have you can do a green screen behind you, and you can put a background up, and you can change it. And I played with it a little bit, but the walls, they're kind of a gray with a blue tint. The walls, we repainted them, and I put the green screen up on there. Uh, I kind of like it. I like green anyway. Pablo says, Donnie, what is it called when people start to vanish? Christians believe this. Yeah, they what do they call that? The oh, doggone it, I can't remember. Pablo, I don't remember the tribulation or when God returns and he takes the chosen, the whatever it was, 244,000 or something, 144,000. The rapture, yes, there it is. Sam, Mike, Lockbeard, yeah, Butch, everybody got it but me. Uh, but from my understanding, I've got a very strange. Um, as Stephanie just said, I'm going to put this up because there's a lot of comments about this. We do have spirit activity in our home, and we had some bad stuff here, and we done a blessing. It didn't work out so good, and I had to redo it. I did it wrong, and we got it redone, and then I had some help to redo it a third time to make sure that it's set and everything's been fine. I mean, we still get our name called occasionally, but we're not having things being moved and all the noise at night. And when the house is quiet, it's not always at nighttime. Sometimes during the day, the house can be quiet and the dogs wake up and they'll stare. And we have 7 dogs here. There's 3 in one room and 4 in the other room. We rotate them back and forth throughout the day. And one will wake up and see and look up at something like somebody standing there and there's nobody there. And the dog's growling. Then another one will hear that and growling and wake up. And then before you know it, all of them are staring at nothing and they're growling. And we just rebuke it. Um, I'm not, that's the stuff that I'm not afraid of. It's them big things. The Bigfoot, Sasquatch, whatever you want to call them, they scare me. They really, really scare me. Okay, good. I hope it is. Uh, yeah, what Gene put on here, let me put this up right quick. I know we're going all over the place with this, but uh, these guardian angels, like what he's talking about, everybody calls it, it's got different names, different religions, different races. They all have different names for them. And we do have protectors. I believe that wholeheartedly. I've had some really bizarre things happen to me in my lifetime that I shouldn't be here now. And the way that I survived, it just shouldn't have happened. It's very unnatural. And I have no doubt that we have protectors. The angels were just, the numbers were huge. And I just, like in our home, we've surrendered our home. We use the name Yahweh and Yeshua instead of God and Jesus. And my belief in that is during the time that Christ walked the earth in his native tongue, there was no letter J. It did not exist. His name could not have been Jesus. It's impossible because there was no J. His name was Yeshua, but some of the local tribes, their pronunciation was Yeshus with a Y, and then it through the years evolved to Jesus, is what I was told. I don't know how true that is, but praying to him and calling him Jesus, he knows you're speaking to him, whether it's his name or not, we don't know. But he knows, and he knows your heart is focused on him, your prayer and your intent is focused on him. He's coming. He's answering. Things are going to change. Heads will roll if need be, and things will change. But like using the name Yahweh for God, there is no vowels in the true spelling of his name. It's all consonants. And in order to pronounce it in our language, we had to add the A and the E to change it to Yahweh. But where the reason I do use that name is every religion of this planet, the Muslim, um, the Orthodox, every religion, they know the name of the God that they worship, except for the Christian religion. They're the only ones. they call him God, that his name is God, and it's not, it's his title. He's the Most High God. But it strikes me as odd as the Muslims that the Christians are down and so hard. They know the name of the God that they worship. They know his name, and they don't call him God. Some do, but it's every religion you go to, and in my heart, I felt it very important to call him by his name instead of by his title, because there are a lot of gods, and I don't want the wrong one to mistake me talking to him. I want to talk to the big boss, the one that put me here. Um, but it's just my beliefs. I'm not trying to push that on you guys. But to live right and to believe in the Creator and to pour your love out to him, to speak to him through prayer. You don't have to pray and beg him to forgive you constantly. He hears you. And that's the same as, coming to your dad, I stole money out of your change jar yesterday. I'm sorry. It's forgiven. Don't come back tomorrow and tell him the same thing for the same thing that you done last week. And, through your life, you're spent apologizing for that one thing that you done. You say your prayer and you move on. He hears you. You don't have to keep repeating it. And uh, I'm the worst about it. I'll say the same prayer 100 times, and it's the human side of me. I mess up a lot, and I have to just remind myself. He heard me. He heard me the first time, and I'm constantly saying it. But it's just I have a deep, deep found love for my Father who created me. And the day will come where I'll get to see my mother and father and my grandparents and my son and all my family. It'll be a good day. Until that happens, we're going to sit here and take care of these animals that we were entrusted to do so, and build more family and friends here on our YouTube channel. We've been so blessed to have, and you guys make it all possible. And I'm so thankful to be a part of it. I'm grateful beyond measure. But things are changing. Our times are changing. Our world's changing. Everything's changing. Just keep your heart set on that makes you feel cozy and warm inside. That one thing, it doesn't matter what it is, unless you're out hurting people or destroying life. But when something's right, you know it, you feel it, that overwhelming sensation of yes, that's, I like where I'm at. I'm like the way this feels. Stay with that. That could be the passion that your Creator put inside you. And by doing what we're called to do, it opens up so many more doors. And, a lot of you guys don't know me that well, except for through the channel, but I'll give you an idea of how faithful our Creator, the Almighty God, Yahweh, how faithful He is. I'm on disability. I took Social Security Administration and workers' comp to court to get my right to work back. I wanted to work. I have no desire to collect a check. And they threatened to charge me with a felony if I go to work, and whoever hires me. And I'm stuck. I have no choice. Workers' comp will never insure me again, not in the United States. And so I'm stuck on a fixed income. And it's not a lot. It pays the bills. But we have over 60 head of goats. We have 2 turkeys, 2 ducks, 2 pigs, 20, 25 chickens, a rabbit, 7 dogs, 2 sheep, a horse that's not here. She's at another property. We have all of that, and a land payment, and now a tractor payment. And we're doing it all on my disability, and we do not sell these goats for profit. We don't rehome them for a rehoming fee, because that is not a free animal. You're selling him. You can't label him as being free and then charge a rehoming fee. That's selling. We don't do that. We get help. We're probably around $13,000 this year alone in medical bills on these animals. It has been just a horrendous year. It has cleaned us out. It's financially, um, it's been hard. We've been hit really hard. But you guys, so many of you guys that have contributed and helped us out, and there's so many of you that are in the chat right now that's just been so amazing to us. And because of y'all, we're able to care for these animals. We're able to get them the care they need. Some of these vet bills are really up there in the 4-digit range, and we're able to pull this off. And it's because of our obedience and caring for these animals that Holy Spirit entrusted us to, that He's made a way for us to cover the cost of getting them the care they need. And it's been an amazing journey. And my love of the outdoors and being in the woods has led me on these paths of running into these Sasquatch things, these Bigfoot, cavemen, whatever they are. But God has kept me safe through all of it. I'm still scared. I'm horrified. There's not much that scares me any worse than running into something that looks like me, like a human, covered in hair, and there's something wild in their eyes. They got that look of a rabid animal, and it's horrifying. There's nothing I can compare it to. There's very little that scares me like that. But even knowing that Holy Spirit, the great creator, they're going to protect me. They're going to provide a way for me to get out of it and to come home alive. The human side of me is petrified. My human side is full of just like systematic problems. My mind knows that my Father will not let me down, but my human side questions everything. But it's been a good trip. Things are going to change. I'm sorry to get off on the holy kick or whatever you want to call it. I know a lot of you guys are not Christian. I'm not Christian. I'm kingdom. I do believe in Christ Yeshua, who you call Jesus. I call him Yeshua. I do believe in him. I do believe that Mother Mary was a virgin and gave birth to him. I believe in Yahweh, the Most High God, created all life. I believe in all that. But I make a lot of errors. Yes, discovering Sasquatch. Yes, we took Littlefoot to the vet, and they done a fecal on him, and it came back negative. No parasites, no problems. He had a fever, and they give him a fever reducer and an antibiotic. He's very tiny. He's very frail because he is premature, and he's got little, if I can pronounce this right, leucistic joints, where his legs they're like rubber. The joints bend both ways, and it's so weird looking. It's like floppy leg syndrome that goats get, but he does not have floppy leg. That was a big concern. And Kim is actually sleeping in the other room next to the kennel, where she can get up every 2 hours and feed him. He has to be fed every 2 hours, and we got to monitor how much he eats, how much that when he relieves himself, how much that he puts out. We got to stay on top of all of it. But they said he should do fine. He should pull out, and we're going to take his mama tomorrow and get her checked. And then we'll have to wait a little while. We're trying to get the funding up to try to get the rest of the goats from that man. He's got the billy goat. I don't think we're going to be able to do. He's wanting $350 for a mixed breed billy goat, a briar goat. and it eats at you, knowing what could possibly happen if we don't get them. But we can't swing that kind of money. He's wanting $150 for the other goats, the females that are left. I think there's 3 females left in the billy goat, and he wants $350 for the billy goat. The billy goat is not fixed. He is not castrated, so he is a little rough. So if we were to come up with the money to get him and then take him to the vet, and that's another couple $100, $300 there. Now we've got so much money invested into him. It's hard to place them in another home because they're basically getting a briar goat from you, which is $100 goat that you've done dumped $600 to $700 into, and it makes people don't believe you when you tell them, the medical cost of this guy was a lot. We had to pay a lot for him, and we want to make sure you're not going to eat him or sell him at the meat market. You got to make sure these people are going to treat animals right. And if we get a bad feeling in our heart about the person coming to get the goat, we turn them away. It's not worth it, because I've got to answer to the one who trusted me to do this, my creator. And I don't want to say, well, I had a bad feeling. I thought he was going to eat the goat and he did anyway. My bad. I don't want to be stuck in that. I don't want that animal to go through it. And so if we have a bad feeling about it, they don't get the goat, period. And it's not a thing of money. I don't care if they offer money. They're not getting them, because I've got to answer for it. I don't want to answer to something that I'm going to be in trouble. I've had too much of that in my life, and it was all at my own doings. But yeah, that's where we're at. So Mama's going tomorrow, and we'll get it all put together. The goats are doing well. Tomorrow I've got to work out a bigger heater for them. That heater's not going to be big enough, and we're going to be low 20s all night tomorrow night. The highest is to be low 50s. Yes, discovering Sasquatch, that's absolutely wonderful news. We are supplementing the mother's milk, but we do not have another lactating mother. None of the does that we have are far enough along. Our birthing season will begin in February, and so our does are nowhere near putting out milk yet. And so we're having to use powdered goat's milk to feed him, but it's just, instead of the standard feeding, we're having to feed him twice as much to try to get the nutrients in him, because his mother only put out 3 ounces of colostrum and she had triplets, and that is nowhere near enough. That's not enough for one goat. And so that kind of shortchanged him, and we're thinking that may have had something to do with the reason the other 2 passed away. But it'll all work out. He's going to do good. He's got a good home. My brother Chris, who I hunt with, baby Littlefoot, will be going over and living with him on Christmas Day. So he's got him a new home. We just got to get him up and get his health good and get him weaned and all that good stuff. So it's coming together. I'm sorry about my nose, guys. Late at night, my nose is starting acting up. It's just sinuses. I don't have the cooties or nothing. I know it's getting late. I apologize for being on so long. We're at 2 hours and 30 minutes. I know 30 of it was trying to get the computer back online, which I apologized for. But I'll try to get those encounters done, getting them put together, and sometimes I gotta take the email and copy it and then save it to my notepad. And if it's simple errors, like where they'll use a foul word that I can replace with a cleaner version of it, I can just highlight that word, delete it, and replace it. But sometimes the way they word it, I can't. It takes a lot of changing to remove the profanity, but not alter the story, not change what they experienced or what they saw or went through. And I don't want to change anybody's story. I want it to be the way that it happened. The one I'm having a hard time with it. I have not finished it. I have not gotten halfway through the editing part of just the story itself, and then I have to go and get in an area that will have a good backdrop to tell the story on video. And I haven't done any of that yet. I have no footage that I can use to as the backdrop for it, but it'll come soon. Hopefully, I may be able to get them out this week. It depends on what happens with these goats that we're picking up. It takes a lot of time when you have a car to run over and load up a full-grown goat in the car, and then we got to be back in time to get Rosie from school and try to get to the vet, which is in another city, and then back. And it's a lot of running. It's one car, and it's hard. It's really hard, but we're making it happen. Let's see. Thought I'd seen something go by. Let me check back. Guys, do y'all have anything? Any questions for me or anything that that you're not so sure about that you were wanting to ask, or do you have any input for me? As I think we've been on here long enough that we may need to be closing it out. We're going to be on here, and YouTube's going to fire us. I just don't want to shut you guys down. If you had something that you were wanting to ask, or if you had input for me, if you have an encounter or if you have heard something that you believe are these big things, these Sasquatch, these Bigfoot, if you've run into anything like that, you heard the sounds and you don't think it's an encounter, if it's changed your life where you can't forget about it and the thoughts on your mind all the time, reach out to me, email me about it. I'd like to hear your story, what you heard, what you witnessed, and if you're up for it, we can bring you on here and let you tell your encounter. You know, if it's impacted you, it's an encounter, whether you've seen it or not. It's changed things inside your mind. That's an encounter. Thank you, Tim. Thank you so much, buddy. Yep, Stan, you're right. There were giants in those days, and those days after it. Absolutely. I'm so happy. Thank you, Loretta and Butch. But it's been an honor having you guys here with me tonight, and I absolutely mean that. I love you all. I'm so blessed to have y'all part of our family here. I'm working on getting this done right with this computer. I want to be able to get these videos out and get them out quickly, weekly. You know, these multiple videos. I want to get this going. We've had such a delay this year with whatever's happened with the cell phone signals, and it has just about broke my spirit with the channel. I've been so depressed over it, and finally we had to get the internet going. I didn't have a choice. You know, it's not cheap, but we had to have it, or the channel suffers, and I don't want that. Yeah, Pablo, I had a very, very close encounter. Yeah, I could absolutely smell it. It was blowing it in my face. His breath smelled like fermented oranges. They're nasty, very nasty smelling things. Very scary looking altogether. But we're gonna have some guests on soon. I got to get the wire hooked up from the computer to the router modem. I don't remember what that thing's called, but I got to get the wire hooked up so we don't freeze up again. And I want to bring some of these people on and let them tell their stories. There's Will, I don't. Let me put this up real quick, just to share it. Will, if you don't mind. Um, I don't know if you. Oh, I didn't lost him. There he is. My dad and mom were hiking in North Carolina mountains many years ago, or Northern California mountains many years ago, and something above was chucking huge boulders at him, too large for a person to throw. We have heard that a lot. Um, Other channels, I've heard stories told on there, the same thing. I've had a lot of stuff thrown at me, and I actually got hit last year. Um, it hit a tree. It was a log, and it hit a tree, and part of it broke off and hit me. It hit me right in my rear end. I don't know how else to say it, but it scared me. It wasn't throwing it at me, but just knowing that it hit me was. I seen it coming, but it was too late. I couldn't get out of the way. It's just scary to have that stuff thrown at you. But guys, y'all have a wonderful night. Butch and Sharon, Pappy, God bless you. Thank all of y'all for being here. If I missed you, if I skipped your name, please forgive me. I have a hard time trying to keep up with this. There's a lot of stuff happening on the screen, and I'm having to remind myself to look at the camera and not down here at the screen, but to look at you guys. And I don't like looking at somebody that appears to be looking away, so I'm trying to look at you through the camera. So if I missed any of you, if you've asked something and I didn't answer you, please forgive me. I'm trying to get it going. This is my first run at using a computer, and I may end up liking it. I like the phone better right now, but I know I need to learn how to use this. I've got to get this going. We had a bunch of people here, Riker and Sharon and Butch and Pablo. I mean, we had a wonderful night. And there's Stephanie. Yeah, hallelujah. I love you guys. Y'all are our family here. This is it. We have the three of us here in this house, and we have you guys on the channel, and we're blessed. Tim and Stan, JK, just this is what it's all about. All of us coming together, and um, you know, nothing is too odd or bizarre to ask in regards to these creatures. And there's Ruth. Yeah, Ruth, I'm very, very behind on emails. I will absolutely tell Rosie hello for you. Thank you, Pablo. Um, I am so far behind. Brett, thank you, sir. But I will eventually catch up. I hope. I'm going to try. But thank y'all, Discovering Sasquatch. Thank you for being here with us tonight. I greatly appreciate it. It was so nice to see you. To see all of you guys. Loretta, thank you. God bless you. Nick, you guys are awesome. Thank you for being a part of this. But just if you would, just keep a check on your notifications. I will try when I get these guys to come on and tell their story live. I'm going to try to get at least a 24-hour heads up from them about when they're wanting to do it, to where I can go ahead and do post a video, let you know, hey, it's coming. Be looking for it so you don't miss it. One of these guys, what he's went through is extremely fascinating, and I think you're not going to want to miss it. I'm not going to give you any details on it. I'm going to let him tell it. It's his story, and it's going to blow your mind. I just hope we can get him on. I'm waiting. He said he would. It's just a matter of him getting time. He's a busy man. But thank you, guys. Yes, thank you, Stephanie. You guys, please give us a thumbs up. Help us get our ratings up. There's Angela. Angela Delaney. That's my sister there. I did get your emails. I have not had time to reply to them. Thank you so much. Yeah, go ahead, Angela. I'm watching. Thank you, Juanita. Angela had a question. I'm waiting on you. I'm not going to hang up on you yet. Thank you for jumping over. It's so good to see you. You don't realize how good you have it made until you see the wonderful people that support you, and we've been so blessed with that. Did I contact the woman who has a truck for me? Um, no, I did not. I replied to her comment, but it was a couple of days later when I seen it, and I replied to it, and I asked her if she would email me. Butch, I love you, brother. Thank you so much. And I asked her to email me if she would, uh, to where we could discuss it in a private setting. And I haven't heard from her. She could have emailed me, and it could have got lost in the spam, or I get a lot of garbage mail, and there's so much that comes through. There's several hundred emails a day, and I can't stay on top of them because there's so much going on here that I have to be hands on, and so I miss a lot. And I'm sure I've deleted a lot, not knowing. And I try to ask people when they're emailing me to put encounter in the subject line, because I will never delete that. To see it when people send me emails now about their encounters, it's kind of locked in my mind, and I can zoom through the emails, and literally it'll pop up like a blinking light. I'll see it as it passes, and I don't zoom through them. I do go very slowly through them to make sure I don't miss nobody, but sometimes I do. And whether it's an encounter or not, it doesn't have to be an encounter, but if you'll put encounter in the subject line, I'm going to open that email before I do any of the others, except for the people that I know that I talk to regularly. I definitely get to theirs too. But the people who have had encounters, uh, it I take priority in getting their encounter out, because it helps people so much once you get that off your chest and you share it. And so that's kind of the priority of things. And I was hoping to hear from the person who had the truck from us. And since you asked, Angela, uh, Jeff Townsend, my brother Jeff, which you guys know who Jeff is, he has a vehicle for us, and he is replacing everything on it. I mean, the brakes, the everything on it to make it new again. And he's doing that for us to where we have a dependable vehicle, and it's a Chevrolet Tahoe. Um, it's a jam up truck. It's He drove it down here from Georgia, and the whole time he was here, anytime we went somewhere, we took the truck, and he made me drive, and it drives really nice. It's good on fuel or gas, and what a blessing. We'll be able to pull the trailer, we'll be able to pull the tractor with it, and it'll definitely serve our needs greatly. He said he wants everything on it to where when he turns it over, he knows that we will never be stranded anywhere. It'll never fail us. And you would be amazed at how much time and money Jeff has put into that. It was a nice truck, but the stuff that looked like it may go out in the next 5 years, he's replaced. And we're so blessed to have him part of our family. And it's, it's the people like that not only tell you they love you, but they show it. And they go out of their way to do something like that for you. It means so much. And we're so blessed to have people like that. Yeah, Pappy, absolutely. Jeff's absolutely a gem, and I'd give my life for that man. Um, I wouldn't even discuss it. It's not up for debate. If something were to happen that one of us had to be the sacrifice, I would volunteer immediately. It'd just be a no-brainer. I love Jeff to death, and I'd do anything for him, and he'd do anything for me and my family. And it's you couldn't ask for no more. Life is good when you have people like that around you. Life is wonderful when it's like that. But guys, sorry to keep you all up so much. Yeah, Pablo Jeff is just one of a kind. He's a big man, so you ain't got to worry with nobody coming up trying to bully you. Jeff could probably grab him by the shoulder and just break every bone that's in the upper part of their body by squeezing. He's a mountain, but He's my brother. I love him, and just he's been good to us. God brought us together, and circumstances were unbelievable. Everything about that was spiritual and just amazing. Like Pappy, we love Pappy always. Yep, Kelly, absolutely, he is. And Jeff's gonna he'll be coming down when he gets the truck finished. He's gonna be coming down, and we're gonna do a show and just have him on. And you know, Jeff's you don't realize how much he does for others, and it's not just me. Um, so many people. Jeff goes so far out of the way to help people. His heart is on helping, and I want to honor him um, on YouTube and just bless him and honor him and just to where let him know how much we love him and care for him. And I think it's the right thing to do. He's a wonderful man, and he deserves it. He deserves everything that comes his way, and plenty more than that. But guys, I'm fixing to wrap it up. We have spent some time on here. Thank y'all for being here again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you. I love all of you. Um, if you have an encounter, you have a story, you have anything you want to share with us, I did put the email and our links for contributions, and the email is in the description to this. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm looking for it. I had it. Okay, I don't see the email link. Okay, no, I'm sorry. I thought I had the email link in here where I could put that up for you, but it is in the description. Um, so you guys, if you need to reach out to me for anything at all, if just to say hey, my email's in the description. Thank you. God bless you all. Love y'all. Thank you for being here. And this is what it's all about. But I will have some more encounters coming soon. I got 2. I just got to get them done, and hopefully we'll have these interviews set to go. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Uh, let's see. It's an email. Yes, JK. That's right. Please put encounter if you email me with anything. Put encounter in the subject line. That way I will not miss it. I do get a lot of spam, a lot of garbage email too, on top of the YouTube emails. I get a tremendous amount. It's a lot for me, but it's hard for me to keep up with them. So, yeah, if you email me with anything at all, just put encounter in the subject box. And when the email pops up on my phone in the email client, I think it's called, for the phone, it'll show up. The encounter will be the first thing that shows up on it. And those I'll open right away. So have a good evening, each and every one of you. If I don't see you by Thanksgiving or by Christmas, I didn't see you by Thanksgiving. Happy late Thanksgiving. Y'all have a very Merry Christmas. May it be filled with many blessings. May your family prosper in health, prosper in happiness, and of course, prosper in prosperity itself. God bless each and every one of you. And until next time, you guys be safe.